Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Look At. This is, as the first video in the series, this is a series that is dedicated to just taking the single episode to look at some of the games that I have and thoroughly enjoy, but would not be well suited to having a Let's Play made for them. In particular, games like Beat Hazard. Now, for one thing, Beat Hazard relies on a lot of proprietary or outside music in order to generate its content. So there's a bit of a potential copyright issue there if I wanted to play full stages with other music. However, thanks to the existence of ocremix.org, where I get a lot of the music I use for the fast forward sections in my games, there is a lot of classic video game music that you can use for games like this. And it's remixed in very interesting and creative ways. But what you care about here is Beat Hazard itself. Well, this is a twin-stick shooter which allows you to play with a wide variety of different ships and even potentially create your own. You choose the ship you want to play, jump in, and you have a couple different modes you can play through with. Standard mode is the standard way to play, and it lets you play through a variety of different difficulty levels.
Come on, Bubba. Let's play some Bubble Bobble.
Generally, I like this game to go full force, so I almost always play on Suicidal, but you can tone it down as much as you want. And you'll see how intense this thing gets here.
Come on, Bubba. Let's play some Bubble Bobble. Yeah!
So the way the game works, you start playing a song, and a whole bunch of asteroids and enemies show up. And the ultimate goal is to get through the entire level, play through the entire song, and score as many points as you can. Preferably not dying along the way. On the easier difficulties, this is way too easy. On the harder difficulties, like here, this can be way too difficult. But you do have a variety of items to help you survive. You have bombs, you have shields, you have an ultra beam, and there are a couple other things that you can add in along the way. When you die, you lose power, you lose volume, and you have to collect everything up again before you can take on the rest of the level. If you're going for some of the challenges in the level, then dying either loses you progress in or makes you completely fail at the challenge. There are a wide variety of enemies that can also mess you up. You have ships like the ones here, where when you destroy them, they launch out a boatload of missiles that you need to be aware of. There are the things on the outside there that slowly circle in until they hit you. You have boss monsters of various types, and well, all sorts of stuff trying to kill you. But you play well enough, you get through the level, and you get stuff. And pardon the music there. One of the other tracks I have on here got pulled in. Now, survival is pretty similar, except you don't have the choice of difficulty. You just pull up a track, and it plays through everything in that folder. If you can get through it all, great. Well, you're not going to get through it all. You will die eventually. It's just a matter of how long does it take and how many points do you get in the meantime. So let's take a moment and see how well I do with this. Here's a mini boss. You need to hit those guys along the side in order to take them out. If you try to hit them from the front, your shots just plink right off of them. As the music picks up and the game goes on, things get more intense and harder to tell what's going on. And I really hope that this isn't showing up on the recording. Well, I do seem to be doing pretty well, all told. This is a little bit frustrating. The overall survival mode is a lot easier than the higher difficulties on standard mode, but you have to be on your guard a lot longer and make sure that you know where you're going and what you're doing. Yeah. Should probably mention these enemies as well. There are some enemies that have beams attached to them that either push you away or pull you toward them. The blue beams push you away or pull you in, red beams push you away. There are also these enemies here which drop mines that if they hit you, keep you from firing for just a few seconds. It can be a bit problematic, especially if you're playing on higher difficulty levels where there's things where you constantly need to shoot in order to survive. But generally they're not too big of a deal. As you can see there, once you finish one song, you go straight into the next one. On the top you can see the record for how many points you've gotten in your best run, and how long you survived. But we're just looking at the game, and I don't think you want to sit through a single video where I am just playing for too long. So let's go ahead and pop it off here. Grab a couple deaths once the shield goes away. And we have one final mode to look at before we call it a day here. As you can see, I've played this game a lot. Now, let's see. Let's go with this. Jump over to Boss Rush. And let's go with this one. Now, the purpose of this mode is for you to just face boss after boss after boss. It's a good way to see how all the different bosses fight and interact. Like this one, where if you get too close, he curls up and you can't deal any damage to him. And there are 4 or 5 different types of bosses in the game. Twin boss, each of which has 2 different weapon types. And just fires everything at you. And you have a timer that tells you when the next boss is going to show up. Here we have the single boss with a boatload of weapons on him. Lost track of where it was and got hit. And you're just going for as high a score as possible. Beating as many bosses as you can. Let's see where there he is. I think we've seen everything we need to see here. So let's go ahead and finish this off right quick. The last mode to talk about is Chill Out mode. Oh, didn't want to go there. Which is basically just survival without you having to worry about dying. You also have 2-player and online play, which 2-player pretty much just the same as single player. You just have 2 controllers and 2 players flying around the screen at the same time. Online play, same thing, except you're playing over the internet. As you play through, you gain perks that you can use to customize the weapons and special abilities you have available. And you unlock more ships. And generally, that's all there is to say about this one. This is a heck of a fun game to play, and you can play any of the music you own on it. So I highly recommend you go out, get this, and play the heck out of it, because it is a heck of a fun game. So, until next time folks, Magius out.